What felt like a useless piece of advice until you actually tried it. Compliment people behind their backs. Sounds stupid but works wonders. I'd never say this to her face, but she's a wonderful person and a gifted artist. I'm not a racist, but I think everyone should be treated equally. Turn it off and turn it back on. Clean as you cook. Dishes right away, and 10 minutes every day walking through the house picking things up / organizing. So much better than hours of cleaning on one day. Fans on my old MacBook died. Saw a YouTube video that said to simply take your fist and bang on the part of the computer that housed the fans. Thinking it was a troll, I gave it a shot out of pure frustration, and lo and behold, they purred back to life and I never had another issue with them for the rest of the time that I owned that computer. Percussion adjustment is a magical tool that works more often than you'd think it would. Tool. Percussion adjustment. Knock it till it works. Go to the bathroom first thing after having sex. I suggest walking to the toilet first. Where is the toilet? Usually down the hall. First door on your left. Unclench your jaw. Open your hands. Drop your shoulders. And breathe in. I just dropped my phone. Open bracket. Stop holding it with your mouth then. If it takes less than 5 minutes, do it immediately. I do so much less housework on weekends because of this. The fact that it takes less than 5 minutes is what makes me spend a lot more than 5 minutes on it. I don't think masturbating counts. Faking confidence to become more confident. Cleaning your house before leaving for more than 5 days. Nothing is better than coming to a clean house. Try killing roaches with soapy water in a spray bottle. It sounds useless, but it works better than any insecticide I've ever tried, and it's non-toxic and really easy to clean up. My dad once had a customer in a very rundown apartment complex. He went into a unit that, typically in this apartment building, is crawling with roaches. A little old lady lived there, and he didn't notice a single roach. The secret? Boric acid mixed with sweetened condensed milk. Mix until it's dough-like. Stick small balls in places where kids and animals cannot reach. The roaches take it back to their nests, and it destroys them all. I grew up in a very old home, and I can only recall roaches once. My dad did this trick and I never saw another for about 7 years. Cheap and extremely effective. Close bracket. Please don't ever delete this, because one day, if I have roaches I will dig through my saved comments looking for this. Practice gratitude. Grateful people are happy people. If you have a clogged nose, doing 8 to 10 push-ups will temporarily clear it up. Is this just to get me to try to actually do a push-up? Haha, one would assume, but no, it legit works. One day at a time. It's been helping me stay focused in the now. My grandma, rest her soul, gave me a similar piece of advice, but with a variant. If you feel like you can't survive a week, focus on getting through one day. One day too much, 1 hour, too much, 1 minute, whatever it takes. If you can survive one, you can survive another. Is your grandma Kimmy Schmidt? When you're trying to fall asleep and your mind is racing thinking about a million things at once, making it impossible to fall asleep, do this. 1. Pick a letter of the alphabet. 2. Count to 8. 3. When you get to 8, think of a word that starts with your letter. 4. Count to 8 again. 5. Think of a different word that starts with that letter. 6. Repeat ad nauseum. You'll distract your brain and bore it to sleep. When I can't sleep I pick a subject and come up with an example for every letter of the alphabet. Repeat as necessary. Albania, Bahamas, Cambodia, Denmark, England, France, Guyana, etc. Apple, blueberry, cantaloupe, durian, elderberry, fig, grape, etc. Anchovy, barracuda, carp, damselfish, flounder, grouper, etc. Insomnia is a bitch. I have had trouble sleeping in hotels, and I travel a lot for work. I've gotten into these songs on YouTube that use delta waves and it's working miracles on me. I don't care if it's science or bullshit and I don't even want to look it up, because it's going so well for me. 2 of the top 5 songs on my most played list for 2018 on Spotify were box fan noise for any time I went somewhere without a fan. 2. Did you get tired of one and switch? Or do you, oscillate? Not taking your cell phone into bed with you. After a while you will sleep much easier without the distraction and blue light shining straight into your eyes before bed. Sounds like a good idea, me on my phone in bed at 10 PM. Sounds like a good idea for tomorrow, me on my phone in bed at 2 AM every night. Directly expressing my needs instead of hinting. That's secret #1 for a successful, long-lasting marriage. #2 is, marriage is work, but it's worth it, semicolon. Your gums bleed when you floss, because you don't floss enough. Turns out if you floss enough, your gums won't be inflamed, so they don't bleed when you floss. It's true, or at least get an electric toothbrush, source, and dental hygienist. Flip the coin, and choose the one you're hoping for. I don't even have to flip a coin now, and I'm way more decisive. My dad always told me ask anyway. The worst they can say is no when buying something, or when I needed something from another person. Seemed stupid to ask. If I was sure they would say no, but I was also a socially anxious kid. Turns out that advice has helped me with school, with raises, with people in general, with plans with new friends. Another thing, a stupid question is better than a stupid mistake. Putting cold water on freshly shaved skin will make it so you don't get ingrown hairs. Some of the best advice I've ever received. How is this not common knowledge? I struggled with ingrown hairs from shaving for years and no one ever recommended this. Not even my doctor. So much aggravation I could have avoided with one tip. Life is really much easier if you clean your workplace/room. I clean my room often, and it makes me feel calm and clears my head. No greater feeling than coming home to a clean bedroom after working late. There's what you need, there's what you want, and there's what you can't afford. My dad says this all the time, and I never thought of it as useless. I just never used it. Now I have, and my money is far easier to manage. If you can't buy it twice, you can't afford it. JZ. My philosophy playing RPGs as a kid. Spend an extra $5 to $10 on wiper blades. Stick to the same sleep schedule on your days off that you follow on days when you have to be somewhere at a specific time, like school or work days. I spent my whole life sleeping until noon on weekends, thinking I was storing sleep in some imaginary sleep bank. I recently started waking up early on weekends, and now I don't have trouble waking up when my alarm goes off during the week. Plus I have all this extra time to do stuff, because I'm not sleeping all day. I got a job to match my natural sleep cycle, and I'm much happier for it. It's better to lose a second of your life than to lose your life in a second. People on the road need to just slow down a little. It'll save your life. And stay off your goddamn phone. Pay bills, save, then spend. In regards to saving, I was always told pay your bills, pay yourself, then spend. You're not hungry, you're thirsty, semicolon. I would eat a big meal and wonder why I still felt hungry. It is because I wasn't drinking a glass of water with my meal. Now if I notice I'm hungry, after eating normal portions I have a glass of water and wait 5 minutes before I continue eating. That forest app. It grows a tree for up to 2 hours, and during that time, you can't access any apps you think will distract you. If you want to open a distracting app, you'd have to kill your tree. All your trees, dead or alive, appear in a little forest. I have always had trouble motivating myself to focus on homework and not look at Reddit/YouTube, but this app is just enough guilt to not open them. I haven't killed anything yet, and I'm surprised at how much I can care about a small virtual tree. People told me about it, and I just completely assumed that I'd never use it, or it wouldn't work for me considering how distractible I am. But it works wonders. Goodbye, Reddit. As someone with a phobia of needles my entire life, I finally, 30 years in, had a nurse tell me to ask for a spare alcohol pad and sniff it right as I'm about to get jabbed. She said the harsh smell is enough of a distraction to keep your mind off the needle. I was there for a flu shot, so I got to try it out right away. I wasn't expecting much, but it worked. I've been doing it ever since, and have no trouble with shots or blood draws now, which is huge for someone they've triggered panic attacks and near fainting in before. Keeping my shoulders back. It was a suggestion I saw for preventing panic/anxiety. IDK what it is. But when your shoulders are in that position it gives some strange feeling of control. I also read somewhere that during panic attacks the body basically wants to curl into fetal position for protection. So I feel like focusing on keeping your arms down and shoulders back is a conscious way to go against that and stay grounded in reality. Works for me. Could work for you too.